It was good. We're about ready to play another team, as you guys could imagine. So
Yeah. What's the mental attitude of the guys this week? You guys locked in?
yeah, we're fired up. First game of the season. That's always going to be a game where everyone's going to be fired up, ready to go. And yeah, we are.
What stands out to you when you look back at last year's matchup against Houston?
I mean, in terms of defense, and really the whole team, we just feel like we kind of had that game, and we feel like we were in a position to win and we didn't. So that's obviously what stands out the most. But it's a new year, it's a new game, new team. They're different, we're different. So we're not really looking back too much at that game. We're just worried about the new game that we're about to play.
A lot of people talked about that disappointment coming away from that game. Is there like an extra revenge or redemption factor with this one?
No, I think we don't want to start getting into that type of mentality where you start bringing other emotions into it and things that you don't really need. We just want to stay locked in. It's not about making amends for the game last year. It's a new game. So.
How about for you individually on that one? That was kind of your first time taking on a big time starting role here. How do you remember your performance?
It was my first performance, so probably wasn't the best. But I did learn a lot from that game for sure. It was good to just have me thrown out in that atmosphere, and that was a good jump to my career in college.
What are the biggest ways you're different as a player right now compared to coming into that one?
Just experience and slowing the game down. A big thing with football for every position really is your eyes, and just being locked in on your key specifically. A lot of times, especially when you're new and you're young, you're trying to look at too much. So now really the game just slowed down, and my eyes are in the right spots at all times.
Trey, you had a kind of a breakout year last year that may draw more attention to you this year. You kind of prepared to maybe face more double teams or stuff like that?
Yeah, I'm sure teams will double team me and slide to me, and running backs probably chip me and all that stuff. But we're prepared for that. I'm not gonna shy down just because they're doing that. I'm still gonna find a way to get to the quarterback, and then as well, it's gonna open up areas for the rest of the D line to go out there and eat and make some plays as well. So.
How are you from a health perspective right now?
I'm great. I feel great. I'm ready to go.
How long have you kind of felt like you were at full speed? I know you kind of eased into the fall a little bit in some ways.
It wasn't necessarily that I was never at full speed. It was just more so just trying to, protect me and make sure nothing happened before the game. So I've been ready to go for a while now.
What kind of an atmosphere are you guys expecting there in Houston this weekend?
Right, we're expecting a pretty loud crowd. It's Houston. It's a kickoff game. It's the first time that they're going to be moved up to this new conference at home. The first time we're going to be moved to the conference, and it's all local. So we're expecting a pretty good crowd, pretty good atmosphere.
They have a new quarterback this year, Donovan Smith. What jumps out about him and what he brings to the table?
I mean, obviously you can't ignore his size, and then the way they use their quarterbacks in Houston, which we saw last year. We're expecting him to run the ball a good amount. So we're just going to focus on containing him, making him throw the ball, and they're going to beat us that way.
Is it a significantly different prep compared to a year ago, or is it a lot of the same points with their offense?
Obviously, it's a different team and it's a different year, so there are some changes, but we took what we learned from last game as well.
We had a guy show up on the depth chart this week we hadn't talked about as much at linebacker, Darren Allman. I was curious if you can tell me a little bit about him and what he brings to the table for you guys.
More than anything, I won't speak too much about how he plays. Obviously, he's a great player, but it's just like the person that he is. He's a great guy, a Christian guy as well. So he's just real humble, down to earth, and he's just always trying to be in the right spots. He's very coachable, so he's going to be where we need him to be at all times, and we can count on him. So.
Thanks, Trey.
Thanks, Trey.